Hello everyone, welcome to Ascendant Signs, and today in this video I will be discussing the transit of Jupiter into the sign of Pisces. On 13th of April 2022, Jupiter, Devguru Brihaspati, is going to enter its own sign Pisces. Devguru Brihaspati, Jupiter, is the significator of dharma, righteousness, higher spiritual knowledge, higher wisdom. Any kind of knowledge or wisdom which can take us to the path of righteousness, clear the confusion of our mind, and guide us in proper way. That is Jupiter. Jupiter is also the significator of life, Jiva Karaka, Jiva Tattva. And that natural benefic planet of highest order, Jupiter, our Guru, is coming to its own home, Pisces. So this is a welcome transit for every one of us, because in its own sign Pisces, Jupiter will be all dignified and all powerful. So definitely its divine grace, its divine position in the sign of Pisces will bring good results for every one of us. Because from last 2 years it was transiting through the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, which is lorded over by Saturn. Although in Aquarius it was not debilitated, but it was under the jurisdiction of Saturn. But now it is coming to its own sign in the month of April. And guess what? This transit is going to be a longer one. So it is really a good transit for every one of us. In the last week of July 2022, Jupiter will turn retrograde, but in that retrograde motion also Jupiter will be in the sign of Pisces itself. So when it will turn direct, it will travel the whole of the longitudinal degrees of the sign Pisces, and next year in the month of April it will go into the sign of Aries. So that means you can say that it is completely a transit of one complete year. Although in that complete 1 year it will be in the retrograde motion also for few months, but it will be in the sign of Pisces itself. So that means the propensity to give good results by Jupiter will be much more during this one particular year. Another thing here I have to say that when we talk about the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces, Sagittarius is the sign where we learn the things, where we learn the things from the teachings of our Guru, and Pisces is something where we devote ourselves under the grace of that Almighty, the super soul, that there is something beyond this world. That is the sign of Pisces. And when we talk about Jupiter in Pisces, it is all about spiritual love, compassion, divinity. Pisces is 4 places away from Sagittarius, so it can also signify the place where a Guru resides, the place where Guru lives, the ashram of the Guru. So that means it is the place where we can find the higher spiritual knowledge, the sign of Pisces. When we talk about happiness in the natural zodiac, the happiness can be understood from the sign of Cancer, that is the 4th house. But Pisces is 9 house away from Cancer. So that means Pisces determines happiness at the highest spiritual order. That means this is the happiness which we obtain when we detach ourselves from these materialistic pleasures and devote for the Almighty, for something which is beyond our realm. When our love, compassion turns into universal love, that is the sign of Pisces. So you can understand that when Jupiter enters the sign of Pisces, the propensity to give the good results, how much it will increase. In whichever house this transit happens, definitely it is going to increase the good results with respect to that particular house, because Jupiter is also the significator of expansion. Wheresoever it transit, wheresoever it aspects, it is going to give you good results depending upon where it is aspecting or in which house it is transiting. Now, previously when Jupiter was transiting in the sign of Aquarius, yes, it was away from Capricorn in the Aquarius, but it was under the jurisdiction of Saturn. But now it is in its own sign the moment it enters the sign of Pisces. So that means our nature will have that love and compassion. In whichever house you will find Jupiter to be transiting, you will find that the significance related to that house are getting more positive energy, more optimism. Like suppose if the transit is happening in your 5th house, so you will feel more happiness, your inclination to get positive knowledge, positive intelligence will increase. You will also find yourself to increase your creative skills in a more nice manner. You will not hurry into it. You will feel that yes, I can work into it step by step, knowing it with higher wisdom. This is the benefit of this benefit result of this transit through the sign of Pisces. This transit will have the impact of other transits which are going to happen in the month of April. In the month of April, there are many more eventful and impactful transits are going to take place. Like on 12th of April, just one day before the transit of Jupiter, Rahu will transit into the sign of Aries, which is second from Pisces. On 29th of April, Saturn will transit into the sign of Aquarius, which is the Mulatrikona sign for Saturn, which is 12th from Pisces. Now, if we talk about Rahu, Jupiter or Saturn, these three planets are slow moving planets. So that means Jupiter will be in a Paapkartari yoga during this transit. Now, Paapkartari yoga is formed when a particular house or a particular sign or any planet is hemmed between two malefics from either side. Means second house from itself and 12th house from itself. And Rahu and Saturn, we all know that they are natural malefic planets. So, by the virtue of the transit of Rahu and Saturn, this Paapkartari yoga will be formed. And who will be impacted? Jupiter, the sign of Pisces, will be impacted. This is one side of the story. So, definitely, since they all are slow moving planet, the Paapkartari yoga will be functional. It will bring some results. No doubt about that. But what are the other parameters or what are the other factors which can impact the Paapkartari yoga itself? That has to be taken care, because if we see only one side of the coin, it is becoming too much biased, correct? Because for every ascendants, for every ascendant signs, this particular transits will be happening in different houses, and that will bring different kinds of results. So for few ascendants, this combined transit of Jupiter, Rahu and Saturn will bring good results. Actually, there are three factors or three parameters to it. The first factor, the transit of Rahu and Saturn and the formation of Paapkartari yoga, which is really happening, which is true, because Saturn will be aspecting Rahu by its third aspect. So this is the first factor which cannot be ignored. The second factor is that since Rahu and Saturn is natural malefic planets, and we all know that when a malefic planet transits through the 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house or 11th house, they give very good results, because 3, 6, 10, 11, they are the Upachya houses. They grow with time. So whenever a natural malefic planet transits through these houses, they give you the proper strength to, through your hard work, you can grow the significance of these houses. So definitely they will give good results. Not only that, we should also take into account the Dharma Trikon houses, that is the first house, fifth house and ninth house. They are auspicious houses. So whenever a planet transits through the first house, fifth house and ninth house, they are going to give you good results. So there are ascendants where Rahu or Saturn will be transiting through the first house, fifth house or ninth house. So by the virtue of the auspiciousness of these Dharma Trikon houses, they are going to give you good results. So that means this Paapkartari yoga, and when we are talking about the malefic impact of Paapkartari yoga, will completely depend upon the ascendants. On the scale of 1 to 10, we cannot say bluntly that because of this formation of Paapkartari yoga, this result is going to be difficult one. No. It can also happen that for some ascendants, this combined transit of Rahu, Jupiter and Saturn is going to give you very good results. Correct. And the third factor, we should also remember the fact, the transit of Rahu and Saturn in their corresponding signs, they are also going to give you some good results, isn't it? Because Saturn is transiting in its Mula Trikona sign Aquarius. Rahu is transiting through the sign of Aries. So whenever the dispositor of Rahu, that is Mars, will be in a good dignity in the transit, Rahu will definitely give you good results. So these are the three factors which we must take into account. Then only we should talk about the Paapkartari yoga. Okay, because Jupiter will be in its own sign, so it will protect its own sign, own house, Pisces. Yes, when we talk about the hemming of two malefic planets, it can happen that the significance of Jupiter, because Jupiter signifies some of the houses like the second house of family and wealth, fifth house of our intelligence and progeny, children, ninth house of dharma, father, guru, 11th house of gains. So at times you may feel that there is some kind of restrictions or there are some kind of obstructions or problems which are coming, but through our wisdom we can work on it. That is the impact of Paapkartari yoga. But depending upon our ascendants, this yoga can give you definitely some good results. What are the ascendants? That I will discuss in this video. For that you need to stay with me, because for every ascendant these yogas will give you different kinds of results. And press the like button if you have liked this video, and if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. And share this video to your near and dear ones so that they can also come to know about this benefic transit of Jupiter in its own sign Pisces, because trust me, this transit is going to give you very good results, at least far better results than it was in the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, because it is transiting in its own sign. Come on, it's a beautiful transit. Don't forget about that. Yes, Paapkartari yoga is there, but for some minute think about the fact, at least it is in its own house, own sign, own home. Pisces is the last zodiac sign. It is the 12th zodiac sign, so it has got the highest of the maturity. A planet has to traverse the whole of the zodiac and then it has to come into the sign of Pisces. So that means it has got all the maturity. So that divine knowledge, spiritual knowledge can be understood from the sign of Pisces when Jupiter is transiting through it. And definitely this transit is going to give you results depending upon your own ascendant sign, your own dasa system, which dasa sequence you are going through. Like suppose if you are going through the Mahadasa, Antardasa or even Pratyanta Dasa of Jupiter, this transit is going to be very beneficial for you, because it will activate the particular house wheresoever it is transiting. And most importantly, since it is transiting in its own sign, the significance related to the house where the sign Pisces lies in your ascendant, you will find that suddenly those significance, the blockages are getting cleared off and you are finding new way. Pisces can also be signified as a water sign, highest of the water sign, the endless ocean. And Jupiter is also the significator of expansion. So whatever work you do, you keep on doing it. You find the spiritual pleasure, spiritual happiness. So suppose if it is your third house, so you will find that I can work on my efforts without any problem, without any pressure. I can work on it. So this kind of good events can happen depending upon our ascendant. So now I will talk about the different ascendants and how this transit is going to give you good results for all the 12 ascendant signs. Come. For the Aries ascendant, the transit of Jupiter will be happening in the sign of Pisces in the 12th house. So this is a very good time to learn some kind of spiritual knowledge, some kind of higher spiritual knowledge. You can also find a proper destination at some faraway lands. You can go there and you can learn new things. Since it is 4th house away from the 9th house, so it can also happen that, like suppose you can get some chance to go to some foreign place where your luck and fortune will rise. Or suppose if you are away from your home, suddenly you will feel that yes, I am getting some good opportunities in some faraway lands. It can also happen that you can go to some faraway place for your higher education. Like suppose if you are working in some foreign company or MNC, suddenly you may find a good guide, a philosopher who can guide you, teach you some new stuffs and which can help you in your work. Since 12th house is also the house of other realm, thought process, subconscious mind, imagination, so it can also improve your thought process. It can also give you peace to your subconscious mind, give you proper rest, proper sleep. So your sleep schedule will be much more better during this time. Since Jupiter will be transiting through the 12th house, looking directly into your 6th house, and by its 9th aspect it will look into the 8th house. So all the Dusthana houses, that is the 6, 8, 12, will be under the influence of Jupiter. Don't forget, Jupiter is your 9th lord also. So it's a very big, beautiful planet for you. So if you are following the proper right ethics, righteousness and dharma in your life during this transit, then Jupiter's transit is going to give you very good results, because it will not only protect you from the problems or any kind of obstacles in your life, but also it will improve your life in some better manner, because 6, 8, 12 houses will be under the influence of Jupiter. So Jupiter will try to protect them, protect you from all the malefic influences. And at the same time, if you are following the righteous path, dharma, correct path, correct things in your life, so you can understand, you can imagine that how much good results this Jupiter is going to bring for you. Another important part here is that Jupiter will be directly looking into your 4th house of happiness, of your domestic happiness, the place where you live in. So it will protect your domestic happiness. It will protect the place where you live in. So it will be good for your home, your homeland. It will be good for the health of your mother. Your relationship with your mother will be much more improved. You will ultimately find some kind of mental peace. So whenever you will try to spend some time for your own self, you will be very much creative. You will create something of your own in some isolated environment, or you may feel that yes, now even if I am alone, there is some kind of bliss, spiritual bliss acting on you. Not only that, Jupiter will be aspecting your 8th house of occult, spiritual knowledge, secret knowledge. So you can learn new things which can not only help you but the society also, because during this transit you can do some good charitable works, anything which can help the other people through your compassion, your universal love, your spiritual love for the other people. When we talk about the 8th house also deals with the marital life. See, marriage is 7th house, but married life is 8th house. 8th house also deals with the relationship with your in-laws, your joint assets between you and your partner, anything which can be related to inheritance, that is 8th house. So good results with respect to your relationship, your married life and everything, joint assets or your relationship between your spouse, in-laws will be much more better during this time because of this aspect of Jupiter on the 8th house. Now one thing I will say you, since Jupiter is also your 9th lord transiting through the 12th house, I will say you that this is a time where you should also take care regarding the health of your father, or you can actually do something where your father can work on more spiritual stuffs, yoga, exercises, meditation, because that will increase the health. Okay, Jupiter transiting in the 12th house can be good for your own health also, because here Jupiter will protect you from any kind of health issues or diseases, provided you are following your proper good lifestyle in a disciplined manner. Then this Jupiter transit will be many folds better for you. Now when we talk about the Paapkartari yoga, then here I will say that since Rahu will be transiting in your 1st house, so at times you may feel that I can work on my own self in a self-obsessed manner, whereas Jupiter is talking about compassion, giving something for the society in some selfless manner. So there can be some kind of contradiction. That is how this Paapkartari yoga will be acting. So you have to have control over your own instincts. You have to think wisely that yes, even if I am developing my personality, but at the same time I have to use that personality in some good manner. Increase the vitality of your health. Do some healthy practices. That is how this transit of Jupiter for the Aries ascendant people will bring good results. For the Taurus ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 11th house. Now when we talk about the 11th house, definitely it is going to bring you a circle, a network circle full of wise people, philosophers. Even your friend circle will be always guiding you in some proper manner. They will be very friendly to you, very communicative and very helpful. Even if you are working in some big companies or you are associated with some big companies, you will find that the people surrounded around you will be the company of good peoples who are always ready to help you or cooperate you. Any kind of project you work upon, you will find that you are getting some divine help to complete that project. Now when we talk about this transit, 11th house is also the house of gains, multiple gains. Since Jupiter is transiting in its own sign, it will try its best to multiply or expand the number of ways by which you can have the gains. Not only that, since it is transiting in its own sign, it will also make sure that you have the gains for longer time to come. Now There is a difference between Sagittarius and Pisces. Now, since it is the sign of Pisces, you will have the gains, but you will be very selfless. You will not be attached to it. That is the beauty of this transit. You will not be attached to it. So you will have it, and it will be just like that. You will be very thankful that, oh God, you are there for me. And I am very thankful that you are giving me all these blessings. Now, definitely the amount of gains which you are getting, it will definitely depend upon the dasa and all. Okay. But this Jupiter will try its best to give you all these kind of things. The aspect of Jupiter will be directly on your 5th house. Children, progeny, intelligence, specialized education, specialized knowledge. So definitely it can also pave a way to learn new things and use that knowledge in your projects, in your work. Especially when you are connected with a group of people, group of knowledgeable people. So in order to go with their standards, you need to increase your knowledge. That thing will happen because Jupiter will directly look into the 5th house. You can work on your creative skills. Since it is transiting with in the sign of Pisces, Pisces itself is a very creative sign. So whichever creativity you are having, it can be knowledge, wisdom, public speaking, painting, drawing, anything. Even the art of interacting with the people. You will be successful in each and every part of that. This will also improve the health of your children, progeny. It will be a very wise transit for your progeny, I will say. Your relationship between your children and you will be much more improved because of this virtue of this transit through the sign of Pisces, because Pisces is a very compassionate sign. So your nature will transform into a very kind one when you are dealing with your children. You will be very much attached with your children by this virtue of this transit. Very much concerned, at the same time very selfless. You will not think about yourself. You will always, how much I can give back to my child so that he or she can prosper. This is the benefit of this transit. Your communication, your efforts will improve because Jupiter will directly look into your 3rd house. Your social communication will improve. Expansion for the number of people you meet. Jupiter will also improve the relationship between you and your partner, your spouse, because Jupiter's 9th aspect will fall into the 7th house. So you will feel that yes, my relationship with my partner, my relationship with my children, my social environment is increasing, is developing, is improving day by day. At the same time, your creativity will improve, your gains will come. Now, if I talk about the Paapkartari yoga, Rahu will be transiting through the 12th house. So yes, gains will come from the 11th house, and at the same time, you will be very selfless. So when we are selfless and multiple things are coming, so because of this influence of Paapkartari yoga caused by Rahu and Saturn, especially Rahu in the 12th house, at times you may feel that you are losing the control. Why? Because when we become selfless and multiple things comes to us, we often forget to give enough importance to that divine thing which comes to us by the blessing of God Almighty. We often forget to give the importance, and when we forget to give the importance, we lose it. Correct? So I will say you that during this time, whatever gains you get, or whatever wealth or money or financial profits happens in your life, try to invest it in some right way, in some righteous manner. Don't go for any kind of wasteful expenditure. Also, when you are thinking about your child, thinking about your children, make sure that you are also following proper ethics, teaching them proper ethics, proper principles, proper dharma and righteousness. Correct? This is how you can tackle this Paapkartari yoga. Okay. So that's it for the Taurus ascendant people. When we talk about the Gemini ascendant people, wow, this transit is happening in your 10th house. Now here I will say Rahu is transiting in the 11th house, and 11th house transit of Rahu is always beautiful. And Saturn is your 9th lord itself, transiting in the 9th house. On 29th of April it will come in the 9th house in the sign of Aquarius. And Jupiter is transiting in your 10th house in the sign of Pisces. So here I will say you that this Jupiter will give you professional success of any kind. It can give some rise in career, new business, new startup opportunity. You may suddenly feel that yes, I am getting more beautiful opportunities, I can take it. Or your relationship with your authorities, your superiors will be much more better. Within the company where you are working or your workplace, that will turn into more sophisticated and more magnified, more beautiful expansion in your work sector. So, and not only that, since it is the sign of Pisces, so you will be much more happy in your work, whatever work you do. Now this work can be related to karma. Whatever karma you do, you will always try to do it with your kindness, with your compassion. So when you are dealing with your co-workers or when you are dealing with your boss, it will be more beautifully, you will be tackling the things. So if any work pressure also comes, you will always have that wisdom. And Pisces means the higher realm. So suddenly something will come within your mind that yes, I have to work in this way. So your smart work can be suddenly converted into your hard work can suddenly converted into smart work, because it is a type of intuition which you will get. Like 5 different works will be there, but you will get the intuition that yes, I can work on these things and I can solve it within a day or within short time. This Jupiter will directly aspect your 4th house. So it will, first of all, it will improve the family happiness, domestic happiness, improve the health of your mother. This is the first thing which I will say you. Although Jupiter will be in Paapkartari yoga, but there will be some kind of divine blessing of Jupiter falling in the 4th house. Any matter regarding your home, homeland can be taken properly during this time. Jupiter will aspect your 2nd house of speech, your wealth and family values, family matter. So by your hard work, by your proper karma, you can have rise in wealth and finance. This Jupiter will directly look into your 2nd house. It will expand the investment opportunities, your fixed asset. Your speech will be so beautiful during this time that whatever you say during this transit with your co-workers or with your professional superiors or authorities, they will respect you by your wisdom. Jupiter will directly look into your 6th house. So by your wisdom, you can come out of your debts, you can pay off your debts. By your wisdom, you can defeat your opponents. And through proper healthy lifestyle, definitely that wisdom will be given you to by Jupiter only. That proper healthy lifestyle, you can tackle the health problems also. You can work on your time management. Don't forget, 10th house is the house of that name, fame, reputation, status. So it will increase your reputation, status, punctuality. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Rahu and Saturn, the Paapkartari yoga, here, since Rahu will be transiting in the 11th house, it will bring more gains. Paapkartari yoga will be there, but it is transiting in the 11th house. So your work, that is the 10th house, and Rahu will say that yes, do the work in proper manner and I am going to give you the huge number of gains. Saturn in transiting in the 9th house as the 9th lord. So it will say that don't go away from ethics. Follow your ethics strictly. Do your karma. Don't forget about it. And I will going to give you very good results. So as I said earlier also that Paapkartari yoga will be there. But for many ascendants, this is a blessing in disguise. So that is for the Gemini ascendant people. Okay. For the Cancer ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in the 9th house, the house of luck, dharma, fortune, prosperity, father, teachings of Guru. So first of all, it will improve your relationship with your father. New knowledge, wisdom of highest and purest form can be obtained during this transit. For the Cancer ascendant people I am talking about, Jupiter is your 6th and 9th lord. As a 9th lord, it is transiting through the 9th house. So first of all, it will increase your luck, fortune, prosperity. So up till now, if you had felt that my luck is not supporting me, suddenly you will feel that yes, now I am getting the benefit of my luck. Whatever I am doing, slowly and gradually it is turning in favor of me. You may feel like that suddenly. So in order to increase the benefic results, the things which you can do is that follow the dharma, follow the righteous path, follow the wisdom or the wise thoughts which are given to you by your guru, by your father. Follow the teachings of your guru and father. Follow the religious rituals and customs which are in accordance to dharma. Like suppose if you wanted to know about the ancient scripture or ancient knowledge, religious knowledge, this is a beautiful time. Or even if you wanted to learn new things, higher knowledge of any form, then this is a very good time where you can learn new things. Law, philosophy, ancient scriptures. Not only that, you can get connected with people of religious communities. You can go to some faraway place because long distance travels are also seen during this transit. You can meet new people who are wise, who are knowledgeable. Proper, correct intelligence can be seen by this transit. You can increase the beneficence of this particular transit by paying more respect, being more dutiful to your father and guru. This transit is directly looking into your 3rd house of your efforts, your actions. So you will feel that whatever work you are doing, your fortune and luck is supporting you. So it's a brilliant time to start new things. Any type of work which you have thought that when good times will come, I will start. Many times it happens, correct? We leave it for the future. So this is the time when you can start new things. You can do proper charities, proper charitable works at the religious institutions. Like suppose if you have thought that yes, I will donate this kind of amount for the good cause at some spiritual place or religious place, you can do it during this time. It will bring more fortune in your life. This Jupiter will directly look into your ascendant, 1st house. It will improve your personality, improve your health. People will know you for your wisdom, for your knowledge, higher intelligence, because you will be working on it continuously. This Jupiter will directly look into your 5th house also by its 9th aspect. So you will work on your creative skill set. Higher knowledge along with creativity, perfection. For the any kind of things where hard work is required and also creativity, this transit is best for you. I'm talking about the Cancer ascendant people. This will also improve relationship between you and your children, your progeny. Now let us talk about the Paapkartari yoga also, because Saturn will be transiting in the 8th house and Jupiter is your 6th lord also. So you have to take care regarding your own health. Although Jupiter will look into your 1st house, your health, personality, your wisdom, name, fame, okay. But you have to be in proper righteous path, because Jupiter is 6th lord and Saturn is transiting 12th from Jupiter in the 8th house. So you have to take care regarding your own health. Means you cannot leave everything for the Almighty to do it. Okay, you have to do your own karma also. Follow the right path and rest Jupiter will do. Okay. One more thing I should add here, that 6th house is lorded over by Jupiter for your chart, and 9th house is 4 houses away from 6th house. So Jupiter is transiting in the 9th house, 4 house away from the 6th house. So it can also happen that you can get some benefits from your debts or loans. Like suppose if you are thinking that should I take the education loan, yes or no, this is the time you can take it, because you will get opportunity for higher education. Okay, like suppose 9th house is also the house of law, 6th house is the house of litigation. So you can get some benefit out of that litigation during this transit. Okay, now definitely it will depend upon your dasa. If the dasas are also supporting, then this transit is going to give you many-fold benefit results. Okay, so that's it for the Cancer ascendant people. For the Leo ascendant people, this transit is happening in the 8th house. So first of all, 8th house is the house of longevity. A benefic planet like Jupiter transiting through the 8th house normally is very good for your vitality, very good for your health. It improves your vitality, it protects you from any kind of problems of your life, because 8th house is the house of unpredictability, ups and downs of life, anything which cannot be controlled. That is 8th house. A benefic planet like Jupiter, which is also your 8th lord, transiting through the 8th house, so that means it will be good for your health, or it will bring new wise ideas, new wisdom, which if you apply in your life can improve your health, can improve your vitality. At the same time, those wise ideas can also take you to some healthy practices like spiritual way of living, meditation, yoga, because after 1 year this Jupiter will transit your 9th house. So now if you work on your healthy living, healthy lifestyle, so after 1 year when it comes to your 9th house, it will directly look into your 1st house. So this 1 year, if you work on more spiritual way of living, it will give you more good happiness. Why? Because from 8th house, Jupiter will aspect your 4th house of happiness. It will not only protect your peace of mind, but also take you to the path of light, away from darkness. That is the 8th house, and Jupiter is the optimism, positivity. So whatever problem comes in life, this Jupiter is there to protect you. It will improve your married life, it will improve any kind of problems, certain disputes. It will protect you from those kind of things. It will improve your relationship between your in-laws. There is also a chance to have some gains out of inheritance, gain of sudden unearned wealth can be seen during this transit, because Jupiter is the significator of 2nd house, wealth, family values, family, finance. By its 7th aspect from the 8th house, it will directly look into your second house. So it will improve your wealth. Financial decisions will be improved. New investment opportunities can come during this time. Another thing, this Jupiter will look directly into your 12th house. So if you are thinking that in order to learn some spiritual way of living or some research focus, should I move to some faraway place or not? Will I get the opportunity to move to some faraway place or not? Yes, you will get the opportunity during this transit of Jupiter. Like suppose someone is thinking to go to the ashram of Guru in order to learn some religious knowledge, spiritual knowledge, some occult knowledge, meditation, yoga. Yes, you will get it by the virtue of this transit, and this will not only increase your peace of mind but also your happiness, because Jupiter will look directly into your 4th house. Now let us talk about the Paapkartari yoga also. Saturn will be transiting in the 7th house. So yes, definitely some restrictions, or you may feel some restrictions in your married life. Although Jupiter will be there to protect you from ups and downs, but you have to make sure that are you giving proper space or giving proper respect to the ideas or opinion of your partner. That you have to take care of. And because 9th house, in your 9th house for the Leo ascendant people, Rahu will be transiting. So you have to make sure that are you following the proper path of dharma. That you have to take care. 8th house is the house of vitality and longevity, which is hemmed between two malefic planets. So yourself also you have to make sure that am I following the proper path which is taking me to healthy lifestyle or not. Because everything you cannot live up to Jupiter, that Jupiter is transiting in the 8th house, so it will always do good for me. Yes, it will protect you from ups and downs, it will increase your vitality, definitely it will do it, but it is your own free will, your own karma also, that you have to follow the proper lifestyle. Okay, that you have to do, because when you do your own karma in a right manner, then the result given by Jupiter will be increased many folds. Correct. So that's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in the 7th house. This transit of Jupiter will bring not only good news for your married life, good relationships, improved relationship between you and your partner, but also it will bring happiness with respect to your domestic living is concerned. Jupiter is your 4th lord also, don't forget that. So that means it will increase your happiness, domestic happiness, but also it will also bring improved relationship between you and your partner. It can be spouse also, it can be business partnerships also, or any kind of trade contract which you are within, it will improve that. This Jupiter will directly look into your 1st house, so it will improve your health, it will improve your personality, your wisdom. 7th house is also 10th from the 10th house. So during this transit, by the virtue of this transit of Jupiter in the 7th house, for the Virgo ascendant people, it can also happen that you may get some rise in your career, rise in your profession. It can also happen, because it is 10th from the 10th house, the 7th house I am talking about, and Jupiter is expansion, so it can expand the number of opportunities coming in front of you. This also signifies that new kind of relationships can come in front of you. Like suppose if you are thinking that should I go into relationship or not, should I commit or not, yes, this Jupiter will give you the wisdom to choose the partner nicely, Or you can also feel that yes, this is the time when I can go into a relationship by the virtue of this transit. This Jupiter will directly look into your 3rd house and 11th house respectively. So yes, your efforts, your actions will be improved, your social communication will improve. Now, since it is looking in your 1st house, so your personality is already in a highest wisdom, correct? People will know you for your wisdom. So whatever you say, how you communicate, or how you react with any kind of things in your life during this time, whomsoever come in contact with you, they will listen to you that yes, this person is a very wise one. I can talk with him, I can gain some knowledge out of him. So you can start new work, you can start any new hobby, any new creative talent whichever you have during this time. Since it is looking into the 11th house, it will improve your social network circle. Multiple gains can be seen by this virtue of this transit. Even if you are working in some project, you will find a set of colleagues or set of friends, network circle who are very knowledgeable, who are very wise, always ready to cooperate you. So this is the benefit results of this transit of Jupiter. Now, since Jupiter is also your 4th lord transiting through the 7th house, it can also signify that some good news or something good related to your home, happiness can be seen, because previously it was transiting in the 6th house. So problems were there. Those problems will be solved. So these are the benefit results of this transit of Jupiter through the 7th house. Now let us talk about the Paapkartari yoga, which is formed by Saturn and Rahu. Because Rahu will be transiting in the 8th house, Saturn will be transiting in the 7th house. So at times your actions or your behavior or how you interact in your married life, you have to have control over your instincts. You have to maintain proper loyalty, proper trust of your partner. You have to maintain that. Because since Rahu is transiting in the 8th house, and 8th house is the married life, and Rahu is illusion. So since Jupiter is providing you better opportunities to maintain the relationship, you have to be properly loyal, committed, and have proper control over your instincts. Then only this Jupiter is going to give you the results of highest order, beautiful results. Because Paapkartari yoga will be there. Saturn will be transiting in the 6th house and Rahu in the 8th house. So yes, at times you may feel insecurity in your relationship. It is just like that, too good to be true, that everything is so good that you will feel that a time may come where you may feel insecure. Okay, so you have to work on your instincts and follow the proper committed path. Okay, then only this Jupiter is going to give you much more better results. If we talk about the Libra ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 6th house. Jupiter is the 6th lord. Since 6th house is a Upachya house, it grows with time. And Jupiter is a slow moving planet. Just like Saturn, Jupiter is also a slow moving planet. So slowly and gradually it will bring some kind of challenges in your path, where you need to work upon it through your wisdom, through your higher intelligence and knowledge. This Jupiter will say you that if you want to grow in your life, you have to face these challenges with complete spirit of mind, because sky is the limit. 6th house also deals with service. 6th house also deals with job, hard work. From 6th house, Jupiter will directly look into your 10th house of profession and career. So that means more hard work you do, more you rise in your profession and career. Because Pisces is lorded over by Jupiter and it is in the 6th house itself. So it will give you the proper wisdom that yes, challenges will be coming in front of you. You cannot stop that, but you can definitely face it. And you can earn the position step by step. Here Jupiter is saying you that if you want to reach that highest position, you have to do your karma in a proper manner. You have to face the challenges, you have to struggle, you have to hard work. And then only you can get that highest position. You cannot sit back and you cannot just hope that everything will be correct, everything will be happening. No. You have to face the world. You have to face the challenges. And rest you leave up to me. This can also signify that you have to work on your, whatever work you do, you have to learn new things. You have to work on your skill sets also. Then only you will be able to work on your, whatever work you get from your superiors or authorities. Because this Jupiter will directly look into your 2nd house also. So howsoever you put your hard work in your karma, in your career or profession, if you are doing in a correct manner, it will increase your wealth, finance, investment opportunities. It will make you more knowledgeable. Your relationship with your family members will be far more better, because 6th house is 5th from the 2nd house and it will directly look into your 2nd house. So it will improve your wealth, finance. Challenges will come in front of you, but through your wisdom you can defeat your opponents. Now 6th house is also the house of diseases, obstacles, problems. And Jupiter is the 6th lord. It is also your 3rd lord. So that means you have to work on your health also. Jupiter will directly look into your 12th house. Don't forget that. So your 6th house and 12th house will be activated by this transit of Jupiter. So you have to definitely work on your health. Healthy lifestyle. Anything which is not good for your health, don't do that. Anything which is good for your health, do that. You have to work on your hard working skills, your daily time schedule. You have to work on your sleeping schedule. Whatever food you eat, it should be sattvic food. It should be pure, fresh. Most preferably it should be sattvic food, means vegetarian diet. And then you will see that this Jupiter is going to give you far more better results with respect to your healthy lifestyle, your health. Jupiter is your 3rd lord, transiting 4 houses away from it in the 6th house. So whatever efforts you do, you get happiness out of it, because through your efforts you are clearing the challenges, reaching at some place, highest place, earning the wealth out of it, investing it in some proper manner. This is the total summary of this transit. Now if I talk about the Paapkartari yoga, then yes, Rahu is transiting in the 7th house. Saturn is transiting in the 5th house. So here Saturn is saying that if you want to achieve that mass fame, that is the 7th house, you have to learn new things, learn the skill sets, that is the 5th house, work on it, face the challenge, 6th house, and then only you can get the mass fame, because next year this Jupiter will go into the 7th house of masses. It will improve your fame, name. So if you want that high name and fame, you have to work for it. You have to, because sky is the limit. This is what this Jupiter is going to teach you for the Libra ascendant people. Okay. For the Scorpio ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in the 5th house. The first and foremost thing is that it will improve the health of your children. New things, creativity, creative self-expression, skill sets, knowledge, specialized education, any intelligence of any form which can take you to some right path can be learned during this time. You will be able to focus in your proper inclinations of lifestyle, good things during this period. Because when you talk about the fifth house talks about our natural inclinations, the things which makes us happy when nothing else does, no one else does. Because many times it happens that the things are not correct, but still we can find and do something which can make us happy. Joy and happiness naturally which we get, that is seen from the fifth house. So those kind of things, creativity, compassion, you can apply in your creative talents, creative hobbies, and that can also give you gains, multiple gains through it, because Jupiter will directly look into your 11th house of gains. Mass fame can be understood by this. So any kind of creativity or any kind of creative talent which you have, work on it. Suppose if you even if you feel that I have a talent, I don't know what type of talent I have. Many times it happens, correct? This Jupiter will give you the wisdom to know about it, to learn about it. Suddenly you will feel that yes, even if suppose you are a student, this Jupiter will give you very good results. This I am talking about the Scorpio ascendant people. This transit of Jupiter in the 5th house. Now this Jupiter will look into your 1st house of your ascendant, Lagna. It will improve your health. It will improve your personality, wisdom, because more you learn new things, more you become wise. Your mind is free from confusions. Your mind is full of positivity and optimism. You know that what is correct for you and what is not. You will follow the correct path. It will improve your health. Jupiter will directly look into your 9th house, fortune, luck, prosperity. So whatever work you do, you will feel that luck is supporting you. It can also signify some long distance travels to some religious places, some spiritual places. You can get connected with some spiritual communities also. You can learn about spiritual scriptures, religious scriptures. Your relationship with your guru, with your father, with your elders of your family will be improved. You can follow the teachings of your guru, which can be a blessing for you. You will get more connected with the teachings of your guru and father during this time. Now, since Rahu and Saturn is forming a Paapkartari yoga, and more specifically, if I talk about Saturn will be transiting in your 4th house. So yes, at times you may feel that while you are focusing more in your creativity and everything, you may feel some responsibility, the sense of duty and responsibility at your domestic front also. That can happen. So I will say you that you have to bring a balance between your own natural inclinations and at your domestic front also. You have to work on your homely matters also at the same time. Okay. So that's it for these Scorpio ascendant people. For these Sagittarius ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in the 4th house of happiness, in its own sign Pisces. Now what can be more better than that? It is said that whenever Jupiter transits in the 4th house, it brings happiness of the highest order. All the things which we desire gets fulfilled. And since it is transiting in its own sign, so you can expect that all your desires, all the things which makes you happy will be fulfilled. If you are thinking to have a new home, new purchase of conveyances or conveniences, luxurious and comfortable items at your home, you can have it. Purchase of landed property, or even constructed property or anything, you can have it. Any renovation work at your home which you are thinking that should I do it or not, yes, this is a time where you can work on it, because Pisces is a very creative sign. Okay, so it will be those renovations or anything which you buy or purchase during this time for your home, for your decoration of your home, it will be more beautiful. For the Sagittarius ascendant people I'm talking about, it will improve the health of your mother. Your relationship with your mother will be much more improved during this time. Any type of item which makes your life more convenient, easy, luxurious and comfortable, you can have it during this time. By the virtue of this transit, Jupiter will directly look into your 10th house of career profession. So when you are happy, you will focus more on your work, that yes, I am able to balance my work life and my family life at the same time. Your relationship with your own authorities, your superiors, your co-workers will improve. New employment opportunities, rise in career, job, profession can be seen during this transit. You can also have the opportunity to go some far away place also, because Jupiter will directly look into your 12th house. Like suppose you got a job, some good opportunity at some far away place. That kind of things can also happen. That new opportunities, or it can also happen that you can learn new things, spiritual stuffs at some solitude, isolated place. It will also improve your sleeping schedule during this transit. Most importantly, Jupiter will look into your 8th house, so it will protect you from any kind of sudden ups and downs in your life. It will improve your marital life, your relationship between your spouse, your in-laws. Any matter regarding joint assets will be solved, will be resolved. Matter related to inheritance can be solved during this time. Yes, Paapkartari yoga will be there, but don't forget that Saturn will be transiting in the 11th house. It will be transiting in the 3rd house in the sign of Aquarius. So obviously Saturn will give you good results through your efforts, continuous efforts. But yes, Jupiter is the significator of children and progeny, and Rahu will be transiting in the 5th house of children and progeny. So yes, you have to take care regarding the health of your children. That I will say during this transit. Okay. So that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in the 3rd house in its own sign. So first of all, it will improve your confidence to do any kind of work. This is the first thing will happen. Should I start it or not? Should I do it or not? This type of confusions will be cleared. Yes, this is the time I can do it. So that means any work of new, any type of new work, new actions, new energy, new wisdom, new knowledge, new efforts. Like you want to start something new, do it now. Any hobby, any creative talent, anything which requires efforts, knowledge, wisdom, this is the time. It will improve your communication between you and your social life, immediate environment, any kind of people whom you meet in daily life. It can be friends, siblings, neighborhood, or any people of immediate contact. It will improve your social communication or social group. Nowadays we talk about social networking. So yes, you can talk about that also, that it will improve your social networking. Jupiter will directly look into your 9th house. Jupiter is the significator of 9th house, looking into the 9th house, so it will improve your luck, fortune and prosperity. Chances of travels, short travels or long travels, both chances are there. It will improve your relationship between your father, your guru. You can learn new things. Higher spiritual knowledge or any kind of higher educational degrees can also be taken during this time. You can move to some faraway place in search of new knowledge, new wisdom. Make new friends during this time. By the virtue of this transit, you can have the blessing of Guru. You can meet someone who is highly knowledgeable, a great philosopher, and can teach you something, and you can learn new that thing, and you can work on your efforts and actions. Jupiter will look directly into your 11th house and 7th house, so it will improve your connectivity with your network circle. Your projects will be completed. Multi-dimensional gains can be seen through your efforts, and continuous gains. So that means incoming of wealth, money, finance can be seen. Jupiter will look into your 7th house, so your relationship between your spouse will be improved, your partner. Now it can be business partner also, like suppose if you are in any kind of legal binding, contract, trade, business, it will improve. So that means you can say that relationship of any form will be improved during this time by the transit of Jupiter. Initially, when Jupiter was in the sign of Capricorn and then Aquarius, so that time you might have felt that my luck is not supporting me, but now this Jupiter will give you very good results. Now if you talk about the Paapkartari yoga, then I will definitely say that since 3rd house is the house of efforts, it is hemmed between two malefic planets, Rahu and Saturn. So you have to be very careful regarding your efforts. People may misuse your efforts. People may misuse your benevolence, I will say. Because Pisces is the sign of universal love, compassion, kindness. Kindness of highest form. So someone will say you that, can you do it for me? You will do it. Okay. They can take benefit of your benevolence. So you have to be very careful that whom you are allowing you in your life. Okay. This is the result of Paapkartari yoga, which you have to be very much controlled of. You have to take control of that. Okay. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 2nd house. Wealth, values, family members, speech, food, eating habits. So first of all, I will say, if I talk about the values, it will improve the integrity of your family values, morality. It will improve your morality, cultural tradition. You will be more focused to improve the tradition of your family, to know about your family values. Do something which increases the family value, family reputation in front of the society. Not only that, it will also improve your wealth. For the Aquarius ascendant people I am talking about, your finances, your investment opportunities. Your speech will be improved. Your communication and how you talk with your family members, your near and dear ones will be improved. People will know you for your, specifically your family members will know you for your wisdom, for your knowledge. You will be always ready to impart knowledge to everyone. Knowledge at its highest form, means whatever knowledge you have, you will try to help people through your knowledge. Since investment opportunities will be there, so it can also happen that it will increase your fixed asset. Okay, it is creating a Dhan Yoga, second lord transiting through the second house, so multiple gains can come, money can come. Okay, this Jupiter will directly look into your 10th house of career and profession, so great chance that you can get some career building opportunities during this time. Great chance. You can have multiple opportunities, business ideas, your relationship between your authorities, your superiors, co-workers will improve, or I will say overall your karma will improve. Rise in position can happen. Jupiter will directly look into your 6th house, so through your wisdom you can defeat your opponents, you can pay back your debts, you can work on your lifestyle, you can work on your daily schedule and routine. Proper time management can be done during this time. Jupiter will directly look into your 8th house, so it will bring a balance between materialistic way of life and spiritual way of life. You can also learn the spiritual living, occult, secret knowledge. Focus on anything which requires research, concentration. Since second house is also the one of the house of education, because in our childhood the first education which we get from our family, that is the second house. It will also give you the propensity to learn new things. Anything which requires more research, focus, concentration, that is the 8th house. You can learn new things. You can follow a proper healthy lifestyle, yoga, meditation. Your marital life will be improved. Any matter regarding joint asset and fixed asset will be resolved, in fact improved. Relationship between your in-laws and you will be improved. Chance of getting some inherited property, if something going on, it can turn in favor of you. Unearned wealth can suddenly come in favor of you. Now, since it is in Paapkartari Yoga, hemmed between Saturn and Rahu, Saturn will be transiting in the 1st house. So what will happen? You will feel that so many responsibilities are coming in front of me. What should I do? Whereas Rahu will say that live your dreams. Why are you stopping? Do it. And Jupiter will say you that follow the tradition, follow the ethics. So contradicting energies will be there at times. So I will say that make small steps. There is no reason to stop, there is no reason to delay, but yes, don't hurry. This Paapkartari Yoga is teaching you, don't hurry, make small steps. Don't forget, Saturn will be in its own sign, so definitely it will give you good results, but it is saying you don't hurry. Make small steps, work on it, research on it, and then get the perfect result out of it. Okay, so that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Jupiter will be transiting in the 1st house itself. The planet of higher wisdom transiting through the 1st house, the personality, health, Lagna, ascendant. What can be more beautiful than this? Jupiter gets directional strength in the 1st house. So it will give you proper direction in your life. All the confusions will be removed. All the obstacles will be removed. All of a sudden you will find that yes, there is a light in my path. Optimistic ideas, positive ideas will come in front of you. People will know you for your knowledge. Or it can also happen that you can learn new things. Jupiter will directly look into your 5th house and 9th house. So yes, it will improve your intelligence, it will improve your creative ideas. You can learn new things. At the same time, it will increase your kindness, it will improve your compassion for the everyone. The aspect of Jupiter will directly fall into your 7th house. It will improve your relationship. Chance of starting a new relationship can also be there. The bonding between you and your spouse will increase. If you are thinking to go into some legal contract, any business ideas, you can definitely go for it, because this transit will improve, bring more beneficial results during this transit. Jupiter will not only improve your health but also improve your personality, a pleasing personality. You will slowly get transformed into such a human being who knows what is correct and what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done. This will also bring fortune, luck, prosperity in your life. Your relationship between your father, elders will improve. You can learn new things from your guru. Chances of getting attached with some religious communities, long distance travels are also seen during this transit. Due to that knowledge, you can increase your creativity, your creative self-expression. Your relationship between you and your children will improve. Your intelligence will improve. Specialized education or any kind of education of higher order, it will allow you to travel through the path of dharma, righteousness. So I will say that this transit is a welcome transit for the Pisces ascendant people. Don't forget that Jupiter is also your 10th lord, transiting through the 1st house. So that means employment opportunity at highest order can come in front of you. Change in employment, but with some good opportunities can come in front of you. New responsibilities, name, fame and rise in position, authoritative position can come in front of you. Like suppose if you are thinking that should I start this work? Yes, you can, you should, you must. Now let us talk about the Paapkartari yoga also, because 2nd from Jupiter, Rahu will be transiting. 12th from Jupiter, Saturn will be transiting. So at times you may feel that when I am very kind and compassionate for the whole world, at the end of the day you may feel that my energy is getting drained. Although you are selfless, you are not thinking about yourself, you are trying to give it for the people with your kindness, universal love and compassion. But at the end of the day, you also need to protect your own energy, your own vitality. You also need to be in an environment of people who are actually good for you. So you have to keep away from any kind of group of people who are only taking away from you, not reciprocating back the same thing. You have to protect your energy, you have to protect your own vitality and health. Jupiter will give you that chance, but it is your own choice that if you are compassionate and kind to every one of them, then you have to also protect your own soul energy. Because at the end of the day, due to this Paapkartari yoga, you may also feel that I am getting drained. You have to work on wasteful expenditures. Rahu will be 2nd from Jupiter. You have to work on your speech, how you are communicating with the other people. Okay, so these are the things which you have to work upon. So that's it for all the 12 ascendant signs. Hope you have liked this video, and if you have really liked this video, then press the like button, share it to your near and dear ones, And if you are new to this channel, then subscribe to this channel. Tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon so that every time I make a new video like this, you get notified instantly. And anytime if you want a consultation from me, then check the links in the description section. You can connect to me with my Facebook and Instagram accounts. You can directly mail me. You will find the email ID in the description section itself. And your comments are always welcome to me. I will be very happy to know from you that how do you like this video, or your personal comments and opinions or queries. Okay, that is a source of inspiration for me. So till then, next time when I come back with some other interesting video, I'm signing off for today. Thanking you. Bye bye.